pleasant evening and a warm welcome to the national news live on Channel I. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
Good evening, I'm Lakshita Singha. We'll start off by taking a look at the headlines.
120 suspects have been arrested over the killing of a Sri Lankan in Pakistan. The President requests the Pakistan government to establish the protection of Sri Lankans living in Pakistan. Discontinuation of power of less than 1 hour in certain areas today and tomorrow until the restoration of activities in the Norochole power plant. Domestic gas is to be delivered to the market from tomorrow under several conditions.
Start off with the top story for tonight. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa says that he was immensely grieved over the inhuman killing of a Sri Lankan professional, Priyantha Kumara Diyavadana, who was engaged in employment in a factory in Pakistan. The president in a message has stated that this barbaric incident is a severe shock to Sri Lankans as well as to the entire world appreciating humanity. Foreign media reports say around 120 suspects have so far been arrested in connection with the murder of the Sri Lankan in Pakistan. Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan in a Twitter message says that he will personally supervise investigations on the incident. He adds that the day of murder is being regarded as a day of disgrace in Pakistan. The Prime Minister also says that he will leave no room for the occurrence of any shortcoming in the investigations. Prime Minister Khan in his message further reiterates that strongest punishments will be imposed on those found guilty of the crime. He further says that he has exchanged opinions with the Sri Lankan president in this regard and added that the president was enlightened on the incident. The Pakistan Prime Minister has stressed that this was an incident of the most deplorable state. Foreign Minister of Pakistan Shah Mohammad Qureshi says that this act could not be regarded due to triggering of religious animosities. It was an extremely tragic incident which had put Pakistan in great shame. He also says that Pakistan will act in maximum cooperation with Sri Lankan government in this connection. Politicians, foreign ambassadors and Islamic clergymen have severely condemned the brutal murder. Foreign media reports add that the incident has triggered due to Priyantha Kumar removing a poster pasted in the wall of his office where he worked. The poster belonged to a Pakistani extremist party named Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. The supporters of the party were reported to have been infuriated over the act and acted in an inhumane manner. According to a recently issued videotape, one of the accomplices of the victim was struggling to save his life. However, his attempts were thwarted due to the large number of attackers involved in the incident. According to the existing laws on Pakistan, it is an act of blasphemy to show disrespect to the teachings of Islam. However, it has also been reported that many extremists are engaged in unlawful and inhuman activities by taking refuge in such laws. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's message says that the inhuman killing of Priyantha Kumara Diyavadana has created shockwaves among Sri Lankans and the world community which values humanity. The President's communique also says that the Sri Lankan government and its people are waiting with great confidence on the future action to be taken by the government of Pakistan in this regard. He also says that Sri Lanka appreciates the steps taken by Pakistan to grant justice immediately after the reporting of the brutal killing. The President has also requested the Pakistan government to consolidate protection of Sri Lankans living in Pakistan. He further says that the relevant groups in Pakistan are engaged in activities according to the instructions given by himself and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Sri Lanka High Commissioner's office in Pakistan immediately after hearing of the tragic incident. The President further points out that the entire world must take a firm stance against extremism in whatever form it appears. The President has also extended the condolences of himself, the government of Sri Lanka and the people of Sri Lanka to the close family members of late Priyantha Kumara. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa issuing a Twitter message and posting a note on his Facebook page on the unfortunate incident says that he was extremely shocked and filled with sorrow upon hearing of the brutal attack. He has also extended his profound condolences to the wife and the family members of the victim. The Prime Minister has also expressed hope that this Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan would implement the law sternly against all who are responsible for the grievous incident. "49-year-old Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana was a resident in Pokunahandiya in Ganemulla, Gampaha. He was also a graduate of the Peradeniya University and a father of 2 children. He has been engaged in employment for the past 11 years in the capacity of a general manager in a garment factory in Pakistan. Minister Namal Rajapaksa and Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, after hearing the unexpected tragedy faced by Priyantha Kumara, have visited his house this afternoon. The 2 ministers have extended their condolences to the wife, children and the relatives of the late Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana. Brother of late Priyantha Kumara said that his deceased brother was in charge of the factory. He had arrived in Pakistan in 2010. He also said that the owners of the factory were friendly towards him as he was a good worker. Therefore, they did not allow him to leave the factory. Opinions have also been expressed in Parliament today over Priyantha Kumara Diyawadana. It has also been pointed out that the government strongly condemned the incident. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena said that he appreciates the manner in which the Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan is taking measures to conduct a full investigation to grant justice. Parliamentarian Ranjit Madhuma Bandara said that the opposition extends its profound condolences over the inhuman killing of Priyantha Kumara.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has left the island to the United Arab Emirates last night to participate in the 5th Indian Ocean Conference. It has been reported that he reached the Abu Dhabi city in the UAE around 10 p.m. Staff of the Sri Lankan Embassy, including Ambassador Maharaj De Silva, have welcomed the President at the Abu Dhabi International Airport. The President was scheduled to attend several bilateral discussions today. The 5th Indian Ocean Zone Conference is being conducted under the theme Environment, Economy and the Pandemic. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa will deliver the inaugural address. Minister Professor G.L. Pires and President's Chief Advisor Lalit Veeratunga are also accompanying the President in this tour.
Votes of the Ministries of Highways and Transport and their affiliated state ministries were taken up for debate at the Budget Committee stage discussions today. A heated environment has also prevailed in the Parliament today over statements delivered against a threat caused on the Speaker by Samagi Jana Balawegaya parliamentarian Manusha Nanayakkara yesterday. In yesterday's committee stage discussions, the votes of the Ministries of Defence and Public Security have been taken up for debate. The final speech on behalf of the opposition was delivered by member Manusha Nanayakkara. As a result of a dispute pertaining to the allocation of time for his speech, the member was reported to have gone near the Speaker. The government group of parliamentarians has charged that he has threatened the Speaker. The government bench points out that his behaviour was anti-disciplinary and against the parliamentary tradition and civility. A letter under the signatures of 38 government parliamentarians was handed over to the Speaker today, requesting to conduct an unbiased investigation into the incident. A furore has occurred in the House over the incident today as well. Parliamentarian Manusha Nanayakkara said that he came near the Speaker and made an inquiry. Member added that when he was talking to the Speaker, Chief Government Whip came from behind and scolded him. Minister Johnston Fernandez said that no parliamentarian has any right to go near the Speaker and threaten him. He added that the opposition is acting as if they are the governing party. The minister also said that the present Speaker is an extremely democratic person. He is not like former Speaker Karol Jayasuriya. He also said that they remember how former Speaker Jayasuriya acted in Parliament. He did not allow to raise any point of order. Minister Fernandez said that in contrast, the present-day Speaker addresses Ranil Wickremesinghe as former Prime Minister. He further said that during the days of the past of the former Speaker, President Mahinda Rajapaksa was addressed just as member Mahinda Rajapaksa. He also said that he came near the Speaker to prevent the opposition to lay hand on him. He has requested the Speaker to conduct an investigation against Manusha Nanayakkara.
General Manager of the Ceylon Electricity Board, M.R. Ranatunga says disconnections of power supply for a period of less than 1 hour may occur in some areas today and tomorrow from 6:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. He pointed out that it has become necessary to take these measures until restoration breakdown in the power generation system in the Norochole power plant, which has resulted in an all-island blackout. General Manager of the CEB, M.R. Ranatunga, says that 3 machines in the Norochole power plant are not functioning. He adds that it is most likely that they would be able to restore the entire system by Monday night. Meanwhile, investigations have commenced to find out whether yesterday's island-wide power failure was an act of sabotage. General Manager of CEB, M.R. Ranatunga, said that trade union leaders have declared in public that they will continue to engage in a work to rule campaign. They have also stated that as a result, there is a likelihood of breakdown of the system. They have also pointed out that power discontinuations may result in certain areas. He said that there may have been a truth in what they say and investigations are being conducted to find out whether power failure was a result of natural causes or an act of sabotage.
Meanwhile, the Consumer Affairs Authority has issued a special communique regarding issuance of domestic gas to the market. It has been decided to release domestic gas cylinders to the market from tomorrow, subject to several conditions and recommendations of the relevant technological committee and the relevant research reports. The samples obtained yesterday under the supervision of the Accreditation Board appointed for the inspection of the ships importing gas for the 2 companies, the Sri Lanka Standard Institute, Industrial and Technology Institute and the Consumer Affairs Authority, were handed over to the laboratory of the Sri Lanka Petroleum Corporation. According to the conditions imposed, the previously imported stocks are not permitted to be released and the new stocks will be released according to the appropriate standards. Another stipulated condition is to include the substance mercaptan to identify the odor of gases. The other condition is to inspect 1 out of every 100 gas cylinders, to give batch numbers and to hand them over to the Consumer Affairs Authority. In order to fulfill these obligations, it is necessary to enlighten the committee appointed to look into the quality of the products and to receive their reports on observation prior to the release of cylinders to the market. The Consumer Affairs Authority says that the relevant companies must act in a manner to allow inspection of their production process at any instance.
The Health Division reiterates that it is more important to protect from corona affliction despite the presence of whatever viral variant.
A lot of people are talking about the new coronavirus, new thing about Omicron variant, so that whatever the variant that comes, can be controlled with vaccination as well as social distancing, as well as wearing your mask properly, reducing the gatherings and all that. We need to keep on going with all these health measures into the future, so that the country is protected from whatever the new variants that is coming in. In addition, I would like to make a plea to the public to send their children to schools because their education is utmost important thing, and we will be having a lot of repercussions unless we continue with education. Look into the future. In another 10 years time, we will be having problems unless we keep on sending children to school and keep on educating our children in the midst of this corona epidemic, because I'm saying this with some significant scientific basis of the spreading the coronavirus among children is minimal. From one child to another child to get the infection, the percentage possibility is 0.03. It's a very low possibility. So that epidemic is mainly among adults, not in children. So that spreading children to one child, spreading the virus from one child to another is very minimal. So that there is also possibility, but that is very minimal. Therefore, we request the public to send their children to school to protect their education and other benefits of education in the school.
541 COVID-19 infected persons have been detected today. The total number of corona patients currently undergoing treatment is 10,287. 474 corona patients were cured today. Accordingly, the total number of cured COVID-19 patients are 542,010. The Director General of Health Services has confirmed 29 COVID-related deaths which have occurred yesterday. 15 of the fatalities were of the age of 60 years or above. The remaining 6 victims were between the ages of 30 and 59 years. Under the COVID inoculation program, so far 30,549,773 doses of the vaccines have been inoculated on the people of Sri Lanka. Out of this number, the first dose has been delivered on 15,937,680 persons. The number of those who have received both doses are 13,759,832. The booster vaccine has been delivered on 852,261.
We are very happy to say that the vaccination programs of children are moving forward very well. We have covered almost all children with disabilities and comorbidities, and they are getting their second dose very efficiently in the hospitals. So if there is, we would like to request the public to come forward and get their disabled children immunized as soon as possible. If they have not got any of the vaccination doses, please come to your nearest clinic and get that vaccine into your child, because it can protect your child from several harms that can be caused by coronavirus infection. Vaccination of children of 19 to 16 is moving forward very fast, and we are very happy to say we estimated some number like 1.2 million children. We are closing to our target, and we request again the public, if there is any child who has not got their first vaccination, come forward and get the vaccination. And it is important that children need to be vaccinated, and we have to understand they can be protected with vaccines efficiently. So we request all our public to come forward and get their children vaccinated from age 16 to 19. Once we complete that, probably we have made our recommendation as a College of Pediatricians Sri Lanka to the Ministry of Health regarding vaccination of children between 12 to 15. We are waiting the ministry to process that request for how to move forward with these steps that need to be approved from the Ministry of Health as well as the Advisory Committee on Communicable Diseases. Once that decisions are made, it is very important then we can implement those recommendations to the country.
Administering of the booster vaccine on those who are above the age of 20 years with low immunity and senior citizens above the age of 60 years is being carried out continuously in many districts. The booster vaccine is being given these days to persons above the age of 60 years in Rajangane and Anuradhapura.
Central Bank of Sri Lanka says that an additional 10 rupees is being provided to every dollar of foreign remittance to Sri Lanka. Governor of the Central Bank, Ajit Niwad Kabra, said at a media briefing today that the parties which sent money to Sri Lanka will be given special relief and privileges.
Store the previous numbers that we were achieving, firstly. And also, we think that we want to also ensure that those who have been involved in this situation, because there is another factor also involved, particularly the laundering of money, that we want to address that as well. And that's why we have given this special 10 rupees for this month, so that we will encourage people who have not sent money in the past also to send that money. And we believe that we should have that $300 million which didn't take place to come in. But that's something that we would be working towards. And even in January onwards, from January onwards, we will introduce new measures, for example, like the pension schemes, as well as the other facilities that we are hoping to give them as duty-free concessions when they come back to Sri Lanka and so on. It will also encourage them to give more and more attention to sending money through the organized normal channels. And in fact, the banks are also cooperating extensively in that effort, and we are thankful to the banks for the attention that they have paid as well as the efforts that they are taking. It's not only the increase in the value that we are concentrating on. We believe that there has been a substantial part which has gone into the grey market as well as the illegal money transfer markets, which has been indulging in money laundering. That has also been the cause for this situation. So we are using both the carrot and the stick. The carrot is where we are offering additional monies, because many of these people have been used to additional monies being paid. And if you think about it, who can afford to provide that kind of a massive encouragement in the grey market. Who is the person who is having that kind of money? From where is that money coming? So we have certain suspicions, and that's why we want to ensure that those who are indulging in will find it difficult, because we will be looking at the sources at which we can identify. And there are many ways in which this can be identified. All the banks are cooperating, and I believe before long we will have several persons who are indulging in these practices being brought before the law, and that would be a very important part of this whole exercise. And in fact, when we go through that, you would also find that there will be people who have received money can also be complicit for an offense of that nature. That's why we are very, very eagerly asking people not to indulge in these practices, because they also may be indirectly complicit in an offense of this nature, and we don't want ordinary people to be involved in that.
It has also been mentioned on this occasion that strict vigilance is being maintained on illegal financial transactions.
When we see the numbers of people outside and also the transactions that normally take place, it is completely outside the normal norms. That's why we have the very clear suspicion that there is something else happening. And that we suspect is that some of these money laundering people have found a passage to convert their monies into hard currency through this system. And the only type of activity that can generate that amount of cash, that amount of funds of 72 billion rupees per month, as you saw last month, could be from the drugs trade. So we have a suspicion that there could be drug money also involved in these types of transactions, and that's why we want to come down hard on that, so that we give a support, one side for people to send their monies through the organized channels and the legitimate channels, and at the other side, making it very, very unproductive for people to send it through any other means, because those means are definitely not lawful, and it is also in a way supporting very bad type of a industry, the drug industry. So therefore we want to discourage that as much as possible.
A clarification has been made on this occasion on the instances when monies were being credited to an account in an unlawful manner.
We will continue to take that action until such time that we see, not only until such time, if ever it is happening, we will take that action.
How many have been frozen so far?
I won't mention that number to you, but it will be done.
Governor, is there any? Can you give us an update on some of the inflows? Is the Indian swap coming? Is it
Yes.
when will it happen?
Indian swap will come.
This year?
We will discuss the roadmap at another discussion that we will organize for next week. But today we will confine our discussion to the remittances.
Money laundering has been mentioned very often this morning. Now the question is, are you serious about investigating these money laundering people, however big they are, and will you take action against them? But some of them, quite unfortunately, are beyond being taken action against. Now, will you do that or will you not?
Yes, we are very serious about money laundering being prosecuted. We are acting on all the suspicious transaction reports that we receive, and on all those suspicious transaction reports that we receive, we would be investigating thoroughly to ensure that those are either disposed of because there is no substance in it, or if there is substance in it, we will go to the extent of prosecution. So that assurance we can give you.
State Minister Vidura Vikramanayake has presided over the State Literary Awards Festival 2020-2021 at the BMICH in Colombo yesterday. Awards have been presented on this occasion for the best literary creations in the period 2020-2021. Lassanagame Hapanu by Mahesh Patiratna has received the Best Children's State Literary Award in the year 2020 first category. The Best Children's Literary Award in the second category was presented to Honorary Professor Sunanda Mahendra for his work Kalandage Lokaya. The Best Children's Literary Creation in the year 2021 was presented to The Magic Patapettiya, written by Tanuja N. Ayagama. The Best Children's Literary Award in the second category was won by V. Nanda Pereira for her work Irahamita Mukadauni. Mage Robo Premier of Manoj Prasanta Ratnayaka has received the State Award for the Best Science Literary Work 2020. The award for year 2021 in this category was presented to Jayaratna Ihalakodippili for his work titled Angaharu Pratyanta Deshaya. Buanika Vanyarachi's 7F has won the award for the Best Youth Literary Work in 2020. The award in this category for the year 2021 was handed over for Bant Eke Lamai, compiled by Andra Sirihettige. The State Award for the Best Youth Literary Translation in the year 2020 was presented to Verala, creation of Sanjay Rangalal Nisanka. The Best State Award in this category for year 2021 was won by Satyapala Galkatia for the short story Alia Atrudan. Sipum Sirum Kenithum, work of Lakshanta Atukorala, has won the State Award for the Best Translation of Poems in the year 2020. The State Award in this category for the year 2021 was handed over to Professor Sunil Vijayasrivardhana's Gimhane Yanna Gihin. A literary creation titled Mahanuwara Yugaye Kavikara Maduwa Ashrita Sangeetha of Dr. Nisanka Aberatna has secured the Best Literary and Research Work for the year 2020. Ananda Abesrivardhana's Dwani Siddhantaya Ha Pariharika Vicharaya has won the State Award in this category for the year 2021. The award for the Best Numerous Topic creation was handed over to Milton Fernando for the compilation of the work titled Ahara Puranaya. The State Award in this category for the year 2021 was presented to Harendraral Nama Gamua for the work Sri Lankave Veddo. The Once in a Lifetime Sahitya Ratna Award for 2020 was presented to the literary person Dr. W.A. Abesingha for his contributions in the Sinhala medium. The award in this category for the year 2021 was handed over to Professor Sunil Aryaratna.
Stage drama, teledrama and film actor Sarath Chandrasiri has passed away at the age of 57 years today. He was a father of 2 children. Sarath Chandrasiri had entered the field of arts and the public stage in the 1980s decade. He has acted in many stage plays including Abuddha Sakolama and Raja Kapuru of Janak Premalal, Talamala Pipila, Guru Taruwa and Andarela of Jailat Manoratna. In the field of teledrama, he had shown his excellence in acting in Miringutera, Vasanta Kusalana, Asani Vasi and Udusulanga, all telecast over the national television. The late artist had won the award for the Best Supporting Actor at the Raigam Tele Award ceremony of 2006. He had extended his acting talents to many movies as well. The remains of Sarath Chandrasiri is now lying at the residence in Maragas Handhiya in Vavita in Bandaragama. The final rites are scheduled to take place at the Andunwanna Public Cemetery in Bandaragama next Monday evening. In sports news, Sri Lanka has won 4 medals in the Asian Youth Para Sports Tournament being conducted in Bahrain. A. Yapa Bandara has won a gold medal for Sri Lanka in the first day of the tournament itself. She has bagged the gold in the women's 400-meter freestyle swimming event in the S610 category. Sri Lanka's Navid Rasheen has also won bronze medal in the men's 400-meter freestyle swimming event in the S610 category. Jason Jayawardena has also brought a silver medal to Sri Lanka in the men's putt shot throwing event in the F40 category. Another Sri Lankan competitor, Janani Wickramasinghe, has won the bronze medal in the women's 200-meter running event of the T47 category. Her timing was at 29.36 seconds. And that's all the stories for tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at the very same time. Until then, stay safe. Good night.
Good night.